to the library, the local library, in front of which now there is a statue as well, because he was literally going there every day after work, study and self-teaching himself how to write, literature and all of that. So when somebody is born to be a writer, he's going to find a way. So all his life he kept working, kept being a responsible head of the family, not just his wife and daughter, but he ran his father-in-law business. So he was very responsible, but he took the time during the day to do his studying and writing. Very well, so that's Italo Svevo, and this is the model for, as I said before, Leopold Bloom in The Friend Ulysses. Very well. What else we got here? Okay. Yeah, so, and what in this book are we really talking about? We're talking about, in Ulysses, about life, about anything, about anti-Semitism. We talk about the condition of the women. We talk about any particular hot topic that usually you cannot talk about. Well, it's described in there. So these two talk about everything under the sun. And the technique that is used is called stream of consciousness. So there's a flowing of thoughts that just goes without any limits. There are no division in chapters. I didn't mention that, didn't I? No punctuation, nothing. It's just, you can have a look. It's just a flowing of words from the beginning to the end. Just have a look. Sometimes you go down and you restart, but there are no divisions in chapters. Nothing. From the beginning to the end is somebody flow of thoughts. And it starts, as we say in Latin, in media res. So in the middle of something that happens, it goes, and you're dragged within in this world of reflections and perception, physical perception, emotional perception, and all of that. So it's basically the human condition. Very well. Leopold Bloom is very gentle. He's a person that respects everybody, and even when somebody does something not nice to him, he's like kind. So he's a very particular character. Okay, we got to the point that I asked you to read this in Spanish. I said briefly before that James Joyce studied officially Latin and French in high school, and then at university he improved his French, and he had his Italian to an exceptional level, German, Norwegian, well, not Greek, of course. So now she will read in Spanish because she is Spanish. A paragraph.
Okay.
De la Corte.
Pound, quien ha ejercido influencia en James Joyce, Thomas Eliot, Percy Whitehall Lewis y en Ernest Hemingway, representa los últimos estratos del desconcierto del fin de la era de Piscis, que se terminó en 1948, cuando dijo: he alcanzado la edad de la duda, yo sé ahora que ya no sé nada. Me he convertido en un literato hombre de letras, solo estoy consciente de mi desconcertante incertidumbre.
Muy bien, I will translate for you, don't worry. So, but it's good to hear the sound. It's a different sound, the Spanish language. So this is from this book, of course, like Arte Navarra. That we've got here, and it's about art in its different forms. So literature, of course, there's a mention about the changing of the times. Ezra Pound pushing Joyce. Well, first, sorry, I didn't translate it to you. So Ezra Pound, we said that he was the one that helped Joyce to publish his first two books, remember, Dubliners and The Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man. Ezra Pound, who influenced James Joyce, here we have evidence. Thomas Eliot, who was another milestone in that time, who wrote The Waste Land. I don't know if you ever heard about The Waste Land, 1922, published. Perry Wyndham Lewis, who was a vorticist, and Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway received the Nobel Prize for Literature. So James Joyce Irish, Thomas Eliot English, and Hemingway American. So this Ezra Pound, who was American, traveled a lot to Europe, and he helped a lot other fellow writers, which is lovely. So represents the last layers of bewilderment of the end of the age of Pisces that ended in 1948, what I mentioned I know now that I don't know anything anymore. I converted myself in an illiterate man of letters. I'm only aware of my bewildering uncertainty. So in those times, we just overcame the two world wars. So there was a lot of changing at a war scale. New countries were defined, new balances, geography was changed, history was changed. There was a lot of confusion. We had even the dictatorship in Spain with Franco, so a lot really happened under the sun in those years before 1948. So he had this state of uncertainty in himself, and he didn't know how to basically go on. So he pushed everybody else forward, as we did here, all these other writers, but then he said, okay, up until here, I knew what to do now, I leave it to the next generation, because I'm not sure. And James Joyce got this from him, he got his help, he got his push, initial push, and he created modernism. So you see what modernism is further on. Very well, so here's the story of Edgar Schmitz. There was, as we said before, he was one of Joyce's students, and his pseudonymon, which is literally Italian Swabian, so Italian Swabian is Svevo, wrote long before, but published in 1923, The Confessions of Zeno, which is this book here. Let me find it. This one. So, because I'm the only Italian tonight,